Hello, Maria. It's Fadi Kuder here with the Kanata on the Rocks. Welcome again to another episode. I just wanted to introduce the audience to my friend Maria Chababi, and we're talking today about her business, Revita.
Thank you, Fadi. It's a pleasure.
Revita is a really, really good word. Tell me a little bit more about the name.
Yes. So Revita is a Latin word from vita, which means life.
Mm-hmm.
Revita means relive. And the reason we chose this name was because it's for people who feel stuck and they want to relive. So if you feel at any point, we're going to talk in detail about it, that you're stuck or that you've hit rock bottom or your life is, you're dead inside, but you're actually going on autopilot, it's for you to relive. That's the purpose.
You know, it kind of, like, I can feel it. Like, while you're saying it, I can literally feel it. It just, like, we're all in this vicious cycle of, like, just living, right? Like, and then sometimes when I say just living, I really mean, like, we're just going day by day doing our mundane activities and we're not really actually living.
Absolutely.
So where did the name, like, when you chose it, why in the world did you choose that name?
Do you want me to talk about the actual purpose of it?
Yeah. Like, what's
I
behind the name? What made Maria choose that name? And what does it mean to you?
I was going through some difficult times in my life when I established this business.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been 11 years now. And I was going through feeling dead inside while still living.
Wow.
So no actually purpose, not feeling that I'm accomplishing anything, even though at that time I was going to studying. I was doing studying full-time and working full-time. So basically someone from the outside would see me as, oh, she has her life together,
She's accomplished.
Everything is accomplished and great to go. I was even working out, but deep inside I wasn't feeling good. I was depressed. And many people that you talk to, we were just talking about it offline, like our vulnerable side doesn't show to people when they see us. They just see this image of you where everything is great. And the more I opened up to people, my friends, my close inner circle, I've realized that many of my friends are going through the same thing. And they don't talk about it, right? Because we think vulnerability, they're going to judge me. There's a lot of stigma around mental health. There's a lot of, what will they say? That I'm less of a person if I open up about my mental health struggles or whatever problems I have.
And it's really sort of like hitting a point here with me because it's kind of coming right after like the whole, mental health day awareness worldwide. We're having this conversation and just on the vulnerability side, I felt, honest to God, for the last 5 years or so, I wasn't living until I literally decided to just let go and be vulnerable. Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about the business side of it. What have you thinking of establishing this business, putting it together, and what's the business all about?
So Revita is really a holistic social business. It's serving 3 levels. The first level, the individuals. So it's for individuals who feel stuck or in a rut or struggle with mental health and want to take their life to the next level by working on their personal and professional development.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a psychotherapy business or a service, but it's more on the life coaching, personal and professional development. So your career, your relationships, everything related to your growth as you overcome these life's challenges. That's for point number 1 with individuals. Number 2, it's for organizations. So I've worked with nonprofit organizations, with organizations funded by the government to give them training and workshops for different topics such as change management, which is my area of expertise, IT transformation, conflict resolution, social engagement, etc. So around those areas of business consulting and development.
And I love how you're using those big, massive words like change management. Change management is always one of those scariest things that people experience. we're a very social creature, and we're very sort of used to doing things a certain way.
True.
And then when something small like that changes, it's like all of a sudden we're like, I have to recalibrate, re-engage, and figure out my footing and what have you. So tell us a little bit more about change management. How do you go about sort of setting the stage for people to, take that step by step and not overwhelm themselves on a day-to-day basis?
So for change management, what I base it on is really the change cycle. You have to go through different stages in order to overcome or go through a change smoothly. You have point A and you have point B, and it's going to happen eventually. Let's say you're moving to some new country, or the organization is doing a change, a reorg, or a change of culture. It's going to happen, but it's really how would you offer the support and stakeholder engagement to your people, as a people-centric approach for you to go from point A to point B with less resistance, because the source of resistance is fear. Everybody is scared of something.
100%. And then that's the thing. It's like the unknown, right? Like I'm so used to doing things a certain way, and then now all of a sudden I just gotta drop and figure out the new way, and then not only just figure it out, but also like get accustomed to it really fast, and it scares people. It just, one of my really good managers that I've had over the years, and I still kind of remember this to this day. Day one, I think I started with that organization, and he said to me, look, change is the only constant in this organization. And if you want to succeed, you just have to stick that in your head, that we're not going to be, in order for us to grow, we got to be able to change and pivot at the drop of a hat. So I want to go back a little bit to that conversation. We started talking about the services that you offer, the individual, the organization. What's that third level that we sort of missed?
Yeah, it's the community. So it's really about raising awareness on mental health causes and on entrepreneurship. So I studied entrepreneurship and my master's by interviewing immigrant entrepreneurs of first and second generation. And a lot of their struggles, when I was asking what are the challenges that you faced, were mental health. And they opened up about it, and they said they had to put food on the table, or actually having, to work and still feel that they were dead inside, right? But still had to provide for their families, or came from war-torn countries and had no language, no accreditation for their skills or diplomas, and had to start from scratch. And I was very touched by that. And also coming from, a first-generation immigrant family myself, seeing my parents and the struggles that they had to go through and what they left behind for me and my sisters to come and find a good life here, which is the story of a lot of people.
It is. It's kind of like the story of Canada, right? Like at the end of the day, we are a country of immigrants. Everything is, everybody's either first generation, second generation, some maybe third, fourth.
True.
We're all coming to a brand new beginning. We're hoping for this dream. But then when we start looking at the dream and kind of breaking it down, it's hard, man. It's a lot of change. It's a lot of learning new skills, learning new language, getting accustomed with the new, customs, and like the way people live is a lot different than what I remember back home, for example.
Yeah.
And then having those conversations with, like you said, first generation immigrants, like someone like my parent, I'm talking to them. Sometimes I feel like they just don't get it. It's not that they don't get it. It's that I think it's like they've never been shown what it's like to be able to grow and change and do all of that. And a lot of it has to do with the resources that's available to them. And I'm really glad that you're kind of hitting that point on community and how to, possibly allow for the community to be able to grow and figure out that change and figure out how that's possible.
Yes.
What have you been doing, with your business? What have you been doing as far as community outreach and kind of helping in that regard, if you don't mind me?
For sure. So I was giving a workshop at the Chinese Immigration Center for newcomer women who are actually in the part of the INTAC program, so everything related to IT. And the last workshop that I gave was about social engagement, so how to be more involved in the Canadian society. So most of them care about finding job, obviously, and being contributing members of the society. But you got to start somewhere, right? You can do volunteering, for example, where you can actually be building your social network. You can be actually building the sense of belonging, and at the same time acquiring those skills that you would need for the Canadian experience, so you can get on to your next milestone. This is one of the workshops. Another one was how to apply for government jobs. So I gave this workshop, part of World Skills. It's a nonprofit organization funded by immigration. And the purpose was really, a lot of people wonder, how can I go into a government job? And me being a government employee as well, I kind of like went through the process myself, and I was involved at the FIN program, which is the Federal Internship for Newcomers program, and it allows newcomers to actually go into pools where they could be pulled and get an employment at the government, and a lot of them find that very successful. So I gave that workshop on how to go into government, and it was good.
So would that be considered sort of on the community side of things, or is it more the individual?
So that would be, if you want, touching on both the individual and the community, because every time I have a chance to give any topic related to how to apply for a government job for an individual, I always bring the mental health side of things to raise awareness for the community, or talk about other ways where you could be entrepreneurial in certain ways. You know, we live in Ottawa, it's a government city, everybody works for the government, like let's say 80%, but most of these people have a side job or have a side business or have a side passion. It's not that government is not a great fulfilling job, but it's so bureaucratic that you need other ways to let out your creativity, you know? You need some outlets.
Well, it's also like the 9 to 5 is really to put the food on the table. The 5 to 10 or whatever you want to call it is really to live your dream.
Exactly.
That kind of thing. And I really like how you just kind of put it together with the, the individual, the organizations, and the community. And it's all kind of tying in together with sort of the overarching message of mental health is very important across the whole spectrum. With that being said, what's next for Maria?
What's next? That's a very good question, because I'm working on, with my partner. I've partnered with my friend whose specialty is in fitness and human kinetics. And so my side would be mental health, well-being, personal and professional development. And we're going to be offering like some kind of a workshop or a subscription model for people to subscribe to in order to work on their mental health and their development to the next level. So by that, we're going to call it My Mindful Moments.
Wow, I really like the name.
Thank you.
Because it is, at the end of the day, like mental health for me is so important, right?
Yes.
But I find a lot of the times is going to the gym and the fitness and kind of incorporating that together really makes it a lot easier to be able to go, okay, well, I worked out my body. What can I do now to work out my mind?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if you have that healthy balance between working out your body and mind, you've got that full human, in my opinion at least, you've got that full human that's working on becoming that perfect human. Nobody's perfect, but at the end of the day, we can strive for something like that to at least feel not dead inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of just bring something up. You've talked a little bit about the past and the healing and how Revita was kind of like, your child, your baby that just kind of brought the healing to where you are today. With that being said, tell us a little bit more about that journey.
Just like any entrepreneur like yourself, you know what it takes of nights and tears to build a business.
Nights and tears and
and efforts and a lot of behind the scene. And the way I like to picture it is really, the iceberg, where they see the top is what people see, and so many things underneath the water that people don't see, like mental health struggles, the late night, the rejections, the failures, the so many attempts to try it and then not know what to do. What's the next stop?
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing that comes with that. And you just gotta start and see and believe. You gotta believe that the next step is gonna show up. Whether believe in yourself, believe in God, believe in your abilities, believe that the passion that you're bringing to the table is gonna touch someone's heart. You're gonna make an impact. Gotta be driven from a purpose. And I find that's what fuels me in terms of establishing this business is even if I go astray or I feel like, you know what, the spirit of my life, I really not feeling it, but deep down, because it's so ingrained in something that I truly believe in, I feel like it's my life's purpose. And I can make a difference even to one person that would say, oh, that quote you shared yesterday really made a difference.
Yeah.
Or that message you sent me really like spoke to me and gave me hope. Or that little thing that you did, that, you know, like gives you back. You feel like it was all worth it.
You just basically at that point go, my day is made.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was something that you brought up when you said, you know, like the late nights and that, you know, all of that craziness with the iceberg metaphor that you've used. How does Maria feel about thinking of all of that when someone says, seeing you today must be nice? Because they only see what's going on today and
That's
they say,
true.
must be nice. How do you feel about that?
I would feel that I would encourage this person to start their own business, even start small. You don't need a capital, you don't need anything. Just start with whatever idea that you have and really put your time, energy, and resources to take it to the next level, whether by yourself, whether you're partnering with someone, and see what you can accomplish of that. You're gonna feel that it's nice some moments you're gonna feel that it sucks, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And from the sounds of it, it sounds like it's all about the consistency and kind of doing the work.
Absolutely.
Even if you hate it, you still got to do it because at some
Like
point.
working out, man, you know, just
Exactly.
nobody loves working
There's
out,
so
but
many
you can
days-
tell us about it.
Oh my God. There's so many days where I wake up in the morning and like this morning is one of those days. It's like 6 a.m. hits, the alarm goes off, and I'm just, I don't want to get up.
Yeah.
But you roll out of bed regardless because for me, it's like 1, 2, 3. And if I wait till 4, I'm not going to get up.
That's true.
So I go 1, 2, 3, snooze that alarm, get up, and then just roll out of bed and go.
Yeah.
It's it is hard, to be honest with you. It's very hard to stay consistent, to stay persistent at what you're doing, especially when you're not seeing the results right away,
True.
and especially with something like the gym or building a business. Most of the time, you're not going to realize anything for the first 2, maybe 3 years, and then all of a sudden something hits, and it's like that iceberg that you were talking about. All of a sudden, it's like way up there.
Yeah.
She's a star. With that being said, I want to go back to Maria 15, 20 years ago and Maria today. And I'd like you to kind of take a moment and step outside. Just step outside of Maria. And this Maria that's stepping outside, think about the two Marias that you're looking at today.
Okay.
How do you feel?
I feel grateful. I feel like it's been a journey, and I'm very thankful for it all. The ups, the downs,
Yeah,
the good, the bad, the ugly.
I'm into that because for me, like, the ugly and the bad is really what makes the good really worth it.
Absolutely.
You know, even if it's like the bad is plenty and the good is just a little much,
Yeah.
you know?
Like for me to sit here and talk to you about these things and you asking me this question of going
feel like
in
I struck a chord.
retrospect, it's
Yeah.
like made me pause, you know, and think about those things. I came to Canada in 2012 and leaving, you know, friends and family behind, and I didn't speak English that well. I'm French educated, so and having to go through the master's program, record classes, come home, transcribe them, make sure I didn't miss anything, you know, because I was on a scholarship. I didn't want to lose it because that would mean
Yeah.
my parents would have to pay because I couldn't work and support myself, etc. So all of that was very enriching, and I'm grateful for the opportunities that I was able
Yeah.
to get. I'm grateful for the people that I met. You know, we say we stand on the shoulders of giants, whether it's my parents, mentors along the way here in Canada. It's just been an interesting journey.
You know, it's funny you say that because we've been friends for what, a little over 6 years maybe now, and I've always felt this connection to you because you're just so down to earth, humble.
Thank you.
You know, you've gone through a lot, but you still came out the other end, and you still want to give back. You still want to just because you're hurt, it doesn't mean that you got to transfer that hurt to someone else.
Yes.
And I really appreciate and like that about you as a person, as a human. In fact, it's one of the reasons why every now and then the thought comes through my mind. I gotta call Maria. I gotta say hi.
Thank you, Fadi.
Every time I see you, it's like my room lights up. The whole room lights
Oh,
up
I
because you
appreciate
have
it.
this genuine energy about you. And I really wanna help you and your business as well to succeed. And with that being said, what I'd like to do is I'd like you to bring that message, whatever it is. Like right now, if you were to leave this room and say, "Hey, I forgot about this," I want you to bring it up to the audience and let them know about the business. What can they do to help themselves? What can they do to get in touch with you? What can they do to really make it worth it for them to not feel like they're stuck?
If you're a person feeling stuck or dead inside, you can relive and take a step to work on your personal and professional development. And for this special session with Fadi, I've created like a promotion code, which is
It's always nice.
Revita 2023.
Very nice.
And instead of the value is $150 for the introductory session, it's going to be for free.
Wow. Guys, I'm going to invite you all to take care of this because it doesn't happen often with Maria. Not only
Yeah.
that, I know that you're going to have a huge value coming out of this because of the progress that I've seen with Maria, and because also of the way she carries herself and the way like she just pours her heart out in this business.
Thank you.
She's been through it, and she wants to make sure that you are going to come out on the other end feeling better. Maria, really appreciate you coming here today. I really appreciate your giving us the opportunity as a business owner within the community here in Ottawa, as a human, as a generous human, the way you are, and then as a friend as well too. I really appreciate it, and I'm humbled by
Likewise.
the opportunity to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fadi. My pleasure.
Thank you so much again for following us. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button and follow us. And always look out for the next episode. We're gonna have a lot of business owners here in Ottawa that bring a lot of value. Thank you so much again. Have a good day.